welcome to Tech Show Today, the evening edition, first day of Tech Show 2006 in Chicago, Illinois, overlooking the Hill Hotel. Legal author, blogger, podcaster, and in my spare time, I'm in-house counsel at MasterCard, or vice versa, and I'm with Adriana.
Hey, Dennis, thank you. I'm Adriana Linares. I'm a technology consultant and trainer. I'm also the vice chair of this year's show. It's our 30th anniversary. Very excited about the show in general. And today this is the end of the first day. So we've invited a couple of guests to pop in and hang out with us. Michael Robak and Ed, I forgot your last name already.
Ed Sohn.
Ed Sohn. So let's let Michael introduce himself first, and then we'll go to Ed.
Hi, thank you very much, both of you. I'm Michael Robak. I'm the Associate Law Library Director and CTO at the University of Missouri, Kansas City School of Law. Also, shameless plug for Wabash College, where Dennis and I were at school together, not in the same class, but at the same time.
Did you guys know each other?
Of course not. There's only 800 people there, so
yeah.
Like, how could we know?
That would have been
We
cool.
knew each other.
We didn't know each other.
Oh, okay.
No, actually, we were in pre-law, but you were ahead of me, and so you didn't know me. Anyway, sorry.
That's great. Thank you, Michael. Hey, Ed.
Hi. So I'm Ed Sohn, and I'm a senior director at Legal Managed Services Legal Managed Services at Thomson Reuters Legal. In my current capacity, I oversee a team of e-discovery experts that help support our clients in our e-discovery offerings. And I also work on integrated offerings with our managed review services that are based in India and Dallas and all over the world. And in addition to doing that, I'm also a blogger. I have a column on Above the Law called alt.legal.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, cool.
Well, we can't thank Thomson Reuters enough, honestly, for all you do for Tech Show. It's really,
It was our pleasure.
Amazing. And it's wonderful. Why don't you tell our watchers and listeners, either watchers and listeners, about the various things that you all do to help support Tech Show?
Sure. Well, we've got we're I believe Diamond level sponsor.
You guys are it.
And
You're
whatever the
bottom level
sponsor is.
sponsors.
So I think that there are a lot of contributions that were made in relationship to that. We've had several speaking engagements. I was speaking at a panel earlier today and have a lunch and learn tomorrow. We've got quite a few booths where you can come and interact with our products and get to know us a little bit. And we're having a number of great meetings here at the conference. And so it's been a real pleasure for us to contribute, once again to ABA Tech Show. And we really like the show, the size of the show, the type of people who come. It really gets us a more intimate look at what's happening with different segments of lawyers.
And tell us a little bit about the various products that you showcase here at Tech Show.
Sure. So we've got Westlaw that's got new enhancements. Obviously, our flagship product in terms of legal research. We've also made some enhancements to Firm Central, as well as to a new version of ProLaw that's come out. One of the things that we're really excited about is actually eDiscovery Point. It's our eDiscovery offering that's launching at the end of this month. We're very, very excited about it. That's what's been on my desk for the last 2 years, getting that ready to go to market, getting the services ready, the workflow. And we're really excited about that. It's just had a tremendous response from the market.
That's great. And is it geared towards solo smaller firms, or is it scalable and anyone can use it?
It is scalable that anyone can use. The entire idea is education
Big
out
fan.
there. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, Michael, why don't you thank Ed for what they did for you yesterday?
Yes, thank you, Ed.
You're welcome.
Or thank you, Thomson Reuters, for support of our Dean's Roundtable that we did yesterday.
Absolutely.
Although, and just to sort of chime in, sadly, eDiscovery has yet to be discovered by law schools. I think the last stat that Kroll did shows that like 36% of law schools have an active program. So we have an active program, but that's clearly an area that there's a lot of growth in. So I think we're very wise to be positioning to do that.
I think exactly right. My background is that I'm a graduated in law school in 1996. I learned very early in Japanese law school. Law was your practice. I think it is. Every single there knows how to search for case law because they understand Westlaw search terms and connectors because it's inculcated within their legal education. E-discovery is equally necessary. It's an equally requisite skill to practice as a litigator. So we got to get in there. We need to be having that same level of indoctrination, within the law schools.
Right.
And you were mentioning management. Is that pieces of the for or does it product integrate services offerings?
You asked my when I founded the company with Thompson after 5.5 years at a large law firm, I did naturally what an associate does and leave and move to India. So I took a job. Obviously, the next natural guys. Obviously. But I moved to India. A lot of practitioners have no idea how to handle, and they'll get charged a premium for it. But you're seeing new models come to the market, new entrants, and we think that this is an opportunity for us to bring our offering as a new entrant, as a heavyweight in the market, and really be able to address some of these issues that are out there. I think something that's really interesting, and we saw this at the Evolve Law meeting earlier this week, is this question of adoption.
Sure.
This technology exists. It's moving forward at the speed of light. But adoption is flattening out. And what is this gap between people and their ability to actually use the technology that's out there? How do you address that gap? A lot of people address it through education and training. I'm a huge believer in that. Our position is to really make the product easier to use. Predictive coding shouldn't feel like this massive workflow. It should feel like Pandora. When you open up, I like Eric Clapton. I get a bunch of songs that sound like Eric Clapton. It works. I don't have to think about it that hard. I don't have to understand, advanced statistics and confidence levels. I should just be able to click in, make it. Searching should feel really, really intuitive. And so, take core capabilities to use.
So we're on next. So,
Well, cognitive e-discovery at Thompson. We have a center of excellence around cognitive computing and partnerships with IBM Watson. So we're really excited about that. And I'm sure that that's going to make its way into e-discovery at some point as well. We're just out there to prove that some of the basic core capabilities of e-discovery can be done way better. People are not complaining that their advanced visualization is not working right and banging their hand on the table. They're complaining because when they run a search, they see a little hourglass and it gets frozen up. That's what they're complaining about. And so the power and scale of Thomson Reuters brought to bear on that and making it really easy, just slick. A lot of times applications should be a little prettier.
Right. Well, I would say that many legal technologies are designed. I think that is. And, and to that, it was beautiful. That's the term.
That you should be able to a lot of been software several clients at it in preview and said, there are effort to this look way it kind of it feels that walk up.
Kind of what we were talking about.
They're in a big way. Suffolk University, Andy Perlman, Gabe Tenenbaum are doing this. Chicago Kent here, Ron Stout, and Dan Katz is now here, are doing it in a real way too. But there are varying degrees of figuring out what it is we mean by doing that, right? Because it's two things. I mean, if you buy first into Richard Susskind's, there's going to be all these new jobs for not lawyer technology folks, back to just I need to practice and compete with LegalZoom. How do I do that? So we had this panel yesterday, and my dean, Ellen Sooney from UMKC, moderated the panel.
It was amazing.
We had Oliver Goodenough from Vermont, who is just beyond a great thinker about this stuff. I mean, he's a great speaker. We had Ron Stout, of course, from Chicago Kent, who's been doing, in fact, his talk was the rise and fall and rise and fall and rise and fall, and now rise, of teaching technology in law schools, because he was been doing it since 1978 and had a fabulous sort of historical perspective on what's been done and not done and should be done. And then we had Dan Linna from University, who is partner of Dan Katz's those things.
I always say that when it comes to training attorneys, it's hard to teach an attorney how to sort a summary in a litigation support tool. I won't name one, so to be fair, when they can't even sort their inbox in Outlook, right? I mean, start over there in order to make it easy to understand some other basic. I'm really excited about what we did yesterday. Thank you for sponsoring the lunch, Thompson.
Yes,
we really, it was great.
Well, we had, I think, like 44 people which was amazing. So we had not, and it was taped, so we're going to be able to use the video to sort of show, what an interesting opportunity.
New use cases. And I'm interested to see, because law school we always think of as kind of a professional school, right? You're being trained to kind of go be a practitioner. But I'm interested to see if there are students that will emerge, or a generation of students that will emerge, who are not only able to use technology, but can seek to disrupt the practice with technology. Can actually get out there and say, and I'm not only a technology-enabled lawyer, but I'm actually going to change the game with what I've learned, with what I've researched.
As good, if not better. I mean, that's what happens, right?
I'm just going to say up front, librarian, the fact you guys are working on Watson worries me just a tiny bit, in the sense that who are you going to replace first? Not the lawyers. It's probably going to be the law librarians
Oh my gosh.
that are knocked out. So that's why we have to. That's why we have to stay ahead.
I think and to that comment, actually, I'll just say, we have a lot to learn from library information sciences. That's actually a lot of information. A lot of that is and that we're out. I know one of is actually has to
Another point to the legal sphere is really exciting. Being a lawyer who's just trying to hang on to what's left of the practice as it changes is not nearly as exciting.
A lot of opportunities.
The practice will
Yes.
continue to be very healthy. It's just about how can we surmount that hurdle of adoption so that lawyers don't have to feel tech savvy to be tech enabled, and then be able to accelerate their practice. I think protectionism over tasks that might be replaced by automation one day, and AI is not replacing lawyers anytime soon.
Right.
We're not seeing robots taking over lawyers. I've talked to our data people and other people I really trust, and they say in our lifetime, we're not going to see machine intelligence be able to think an analogy and apply human judgment and practice and things like that, things that we go to law school for. But there will definitely be an assistant.
Well,
and,
but sorry,
yeah.
I'm going to jump in and say, how many people have I helped find a name change? And
That was so poignant.
And a trend, but something like as simple as e-discovery being available for smaller firms on smaller matters, where it previously just kind of wasn't. You kind of just took a shot in the dark. And I honestly wonder how many cases have been wrongly decided because the right evidence hasn't come out because of just a deluge of documents and I think that we can solve some of that and actually increase the access to justice.
So just a quick little story. So we at the UMKC have developed the National E-Discovery Leadership Institute, which I'll give you more information about.
I would love to.
And we've had so there's only like 6 United States that really know now. Aaron Lathrop and Gay, the alum, knows all and visit with us. One of the judges from Kansas was saying how he had been in a lawsuit. It involved it was a personal injury accident, but it was a long distance trucker who had hit some folks. And he said nowhere in that case did anyone ask for any of the ESI from the trucker's company's GPS system.
Unbelievable.
No, that was his whole point. I mean, of course, he couldn't say, "Hey, you're forgetting this
tiny
really
little
important."
thing.
You could figure out where the truck was. Exactly,
So the notion of ESI, I mean, plays throughout, not just as an e-discovery component, but just sort of generally.
Without question.
Where are things that are being tracked in a way that are unbelievable? And
mobile devices, social media.
Right.
Yep.
So I mean, we still have a huge way to go with the education component on it, but it's just, I mean, I think it's a ginormously open and interesting field, which is why Ron Stout, I think. Ron's close to retire, or is supposed to be retiring.
I think he probably says that all the time.
He does.
I have a feeling.
But he said, "Is it like The Godfather? Just when I thought I was out there." Pulling me back in.
Well, this has been great, gentlemen. Thank you so much. I know you all have another a meeting to go to, but really appreciate your time. It's been a fascinating conversation. Thanks for stopping by. Do you all want to let everyone know maybe where they can get more information about you and Thomson Reuters? Is there a specific website, Twitter handle?
Yeah, if you just Google Thomson Reuters e-discovery point, you'll get a huge number of hits that come back. Our marketing department has been out there on search engine optimization, and you can follow me, EdSohn80 on Twitter, and on Above the Law.
Great. Thanks so much. What about you, Michael?
I'm not famous yet. Next year, I'll be famous.
We'll
But
get you
you're
there.
at UMKC.
I'm at UMKC, and certainly you can Google UMKC and some of the things we're doing, because we also have slid over into the smart cities stuff. Kansas
cool.
City is on the edge of that. We're Kansas City's first Google fiber city in the United States.
Right.
So we have some amazing initiatives within the city that the law school has become part of. because there are issues associated with privacy, other kinds of public policy issues. So we've got this amazing opportunity, and as I say, we've hooked up with the Code for America folks.
Cool. Right.
So yeah, we have some. So UMKC, my name, or just Smart Cities, and you'll see some of the stuff we're doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and we'll see everyone else tomorrow morning.